Greetings, greetings, beautiful, beautiful beings, and thank you for tuning into Movement Medicine Morsels today. We're continuing Yoga Awareness Month, the month of September, with little talks on some of the lesser known aspects of yoga, and then, of course, including applications through conscious breathing, mindfulness, and movement. So today's topic is brahmacharya, which is one of the yamas. So these are the observances that keep us connected to the whole of the world, of the universe. And today, brahmacharya is often translated as celibacy, but there is so much more to it, because essentially, Brahma is the supreme reality, or another name for God, in any way you want to name or envision that higher power or our highest self, supreme reality. And acharya is essentially, we want to walk on the path of the supreme truth. We want to be connected, infused by, and filled with this energy, and stay focused on that supreme reality. So, if you've been tuning into some of the other little episodes around this theme, we have been looking at things like reverence for life, or all life matters, in ahimsa, nonviolence, respect for all beings, not even all human and beyond, animal, elements, trees, plants, air, water. We're all sharing world, this world together. So we need to remember we're all connected and act accordingly. And we also have looked at truth, the supreme truth, being truthful, remembering our true nature. And we've also looked at not stealing, not coveting, not letting our senses be pulled around by wanting to define ourselves by our possessions. So now we come to brahmacharya, which is another way of staying connected to the supreme truth. The more I study these, the more I think they really are all one thing, and they're just slightly different tones or colors, so that we can look at this one reality from different perspectives. And so we're looking at brahmacharya as a way to stay connected with supreme reality, with our highest selves, with each other, and also to not be distracted by the things that can pull us off that path. And there are so many of them. So, what are some of the ways that we can practice brahmacharya? One is to look at how we feed our senses. What are we reading? What are we eating? Are we eating things that support our highest health and our vital energy? Are we sleeping enough? Are we spending time with people who are uplifting, or are we spending too much time with energy vultures that drag us down? Are we watching too much news and getting a sense of being agitated? Are we reading and watching movies, reading books that uplift us, that help us cultivate our spirits? So I think you get the idea from this. And one of the ways of looking at brahmacharya is that it is the first portion of our lives where we're growing, we're children, we're being cultivated in our studies, in our food, in good habits, even into our teenage years and early 20s. Although some of us may have not cultivated that in those times. So, as Dr. Robbie Swoboda says, if you missed it in those early years, you can always pick it up again, because you think of it as a beginning. So, how do we begin our days? Do we begin our day with a little bit of quiet contemplation? Do we maybe go for a walk in nature? I know some of you are using these morning practices as brahmacharya, which is, I think, is delightful. I'm using them as this way, a morning practice of breathing, of mindfulness, of setting your intentions for the day, and in fact, setting the tone for the day can give you a storehouse of vital energy. And that can help feed you for the rest of the day and make your day richer, fuller. And that's my talk for today. So now let's practice this in our mindfulness of movement, posture, breath. So we'll start by seated, as we always or often do. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to set our connection to reality, to truth, to feeding our energy body, feeding our physical body, feeding our mental body, our breath body, feeding all of these bodies with positive and life giving energy. So, planting the feet, we connect into the rootedness, the groundedness, the stability of the earth. And let's raise our arms as we inhale, interlace the fingers, and exhale, reach up. And here we're breathing, we're opening our body, creating more length, more space, releasing compression. Don't forget to lengthen the neck. And also connecting with the inspiration of the sky and the heavens. On an exhale, let the hands melt down while keeping that beautiful spine, the fountain of youth, connecting us to our best posture and to our foundation and our inspiration. Let's move the neck a little bit. Exhale, look to one side. Inhale, look to the other. And take a look around you. Taking a good look at our surroundings is a way to regulate our nervous systems, to place ourselves in the here and now. We can distract ourselves by running around worrying about something we did in the past or worrying about something in the future. So let's locate ourselves here and now. And then come back nice and tall, and a little bit more to really feel ourselves in our spines, which is the fountain of youth, as yoga calls it. So the spine and beautiful posture really help our nervous systems, our hormonal systems, and give our organs lots of space. So I'm going to move back a little further so you can see what's happening with my gestures. Let's take those hands up, float them up, and reach up with the fingertips. Reach with one hand, then with the other, while keeping the feet and hips supported by the chair and the ground. Next exhalation, we're going to do a side bend for the spine, curving and lengthening. Inhale, reach up one hand, the other slowly chases it, and exhale, curving over. Inhale, first hand up, second hand follows. Exhale, enjoy opening and side bending. Inhale, first hand, second hand follows. Exhale. Inhale, reach up with both hands and twist gently to one side. One hand behind, one to the opposite thigh. First, we elongate along our central channel and exhale. Now we turn. So you'll be turning all the way around. You can hear me, but you don't need to look at me at this point. And let yourself breathe. Let that belly expand as you inhale. And let the exhale naturally shrink your body. You don't have to do anything. On the inhale, let yourself expand. And on the exhale, just let your body relax and let go. Next inhalation will come up nice and tall. And exhale, we're coming to the other side. Balance through the hips. Inhale, grow tall on that beautiful vertical life-giving axis. Exhale, spin around, spiraling up and around, and concentrate on flowing breath. Let yourself be filled with the inhale. Let yourself naturally release and empty with the exhale. We're getting more relaxed, which also helps to conserve our energy rather than let it be spent in distractions or rushing. And coming back to the center and sitting nice and tall. Concentrate for a few moments on the breath. Let's place our hands on our low belly, because the more we can drop the breath deeper into the body, the more our nervous system will slow down, our breath can slow down, and that will slow everything down. There's also a little saying in yoga, you have a certain number of breaths that you're given at birth, and once you've used them up, your time is up. So that's also code for as we learn to slow our breath down when we need to relax, to help us rest and recharge ourselves. And also, that's the time, the restful time in which we reflect and we can make meaningful changes and different choices. We slow our breaths down and therefore we extend our lives. So we don't force the slowing down because that's just another form of tension. So allow a gentleness as you inhale, but allow a generosity. Let the truth come in. Let all of the universal wisdom come in as you breathe in. And as you exhale, you're just relaxing, letting go, and also releasing any little pockets of stuckness. Inhale, filling with life giving information, oxygen, prana, vitality. Exhaling, releasing any old stuff. And let's continue focusing on our gently slowing breath as we do the final two movements of the spine, which are flexion and extension. So exhale, we curve the entire spine, rocking the pelvis back, tucking the chin. Inhale, palms up, draw the elbows back so we get a chest opener as we arch the back. Exhale, round the spine, brush the backs of the hands through. Exhale all the way to the end of the breath. Drink in a full, relaxed, complete inhalation. And let's do two more of each. Just focusing on your breath and a comfortable, slow rate. We're going to finish in the little back bend. And then relaxing. Take a moment to sit nice and tall. Remember your foundation and also your lift. And see what slowing your breath feels like. Don't take my word for it. Always experiment, explore for yourself. And if you wish to come and do a little bit of standing exploration of this, please join me. We're going to work a little bit more with the breath, especially with the exhalation portion of the breath. The exhalation is the part of the breath that really calms our nervous system down. It communicates with the parasympathetic nervous system. And breath work and working with ratios of breath have always been a big part of yoga for regulating the nervous system and helping us to rest. And in the rests and the pauses, this is where we can interrupt habituated patterning. So very, very helpful for revitalization. We're going to do a soft sigh as we exhale. So let's try one with me. Inhale through the nose. Ah, and your exploration is to be curious and open into how long that breath naturally wants to flow. Let the inhalation that follows come in smoothly and in a complementary fashion. Let's do it again. Ah, to the natural ending. And then a complementary inhale. Okay, maybe your breath is slowing down a little bit even more. So we're going to add a simple movement. It's called Buddha Holds Up the World. And I think it's a lovely, simple movement. Let's just do the movement. We have the hands cupping the energy of the low body because this helps keep us grounded. Because in our practices of yoga, we want to do our duty in our earthly realm and also stay connected to the spiritual realm or the internal realm, the supreme reality realm. So we need to balance both of those. So we're cupping our hands, imagining that we're holding a light of awareness that is speaking to, communicating with our low belly. And let's bend the knees. As we inhale, just for the movement now, the hands face the heart and start to spin slowly away until they press up towards the sky. And you're really reaching here. As we exhale, we slowly reverse. The hands come down. The palms will briefly face the love of the heart. And then we bend the knees and we acknowledge the earth. Let's do that again just for the movement. Inhale, the energy from the earth is streaming through us, and we're making a connection to the heavenly realm. And then as we exhale, the heavenly realm is pouring through us and making a connection to the earthly realm. Now, you, of course, are welcome to go down as low as you wish, but a lot of this movement is very successful symbolically. So if you have a tight back or any other reason, you don't even have to lift all the way up. You can still fill the internal narrative with a big vision, even if the movement is small. So how are we going to use the breath? We're going to use the exhalation to see if it slows down and enriches and even gives us more time to contemplate all of the beautiful imagery. And you may have aha moments of meanings, reflections, memories, visions that expand you. So there's time for that. So here we go. We're going to inhale through the nose, knees are bent, inhaling. Take a full inhalation, expand, and now sighing out as we exhale. And your job is to keep moving as long as you're sighing. And then when your inhale wants to come back in, you're letting it flow through you and you're matching this movement of holding up the sky. Let the inhalation gently come through you and connect you to inspiration. Let the fruits of the sky come through you and acknowledge the earth and inhaling when it's time. And inhale coming up. And take the feet apart and let the palms face each other. You're like a giant X, or I like to call this starfish with energy in all directions, all the rays. We're going to use the same premise, but with a twisting movement. So this is always going to be our inhalation. As we exhale, we lunge to one side, we twist, and the lower hand touches the thigh, or some of you might want the forearm down. The other hand wraps, you're in a nice twist. When the inhalation comes, you're reaching up, and let's practice that twist to the other side. So you're lunging, you're rotating, you're touching down, you're wrapping, you're looking around behind, taking in your surroundings. Now we're going to regulate it with the sigh. That'll give you a specific length. Keep moving as long as you're sounding. And then the inhalation starts to come through you and changes you. It's a journey. It's not a position. It's a process. Let's do one more to each side. You're using your breath rhythm. Being curious. What's the pace of your breath? I lied. We're going to do one more each side. No rushing. We're conserving energy. We're building energy. We're also slowing down so we can really notice this moment and not steal from this moment by being in the past or the future. Stay in your starfish. Whenever you get there, just keep reaching in all directions, down through the feet, up through the eyes, the face. And then let's step the feet together and bring the palms in prayer. Take a big inhalation and exhale. Draw a beam of energy down and let it rest in front of your heart. Take a breath. Notice your level of relaxation or balance. Balance and harmony conserve energy. They also regulate our hormonal flow, our nervous system flow, calm our minds. And let's bring the fingertips to point to the earth, acknowledging our foundation and this realm, and then folding the hands over the low belly, feeling the connection to the earth below and the sky above through your beautiful posture, and the calmness and equilibrium, staying on the path of supreme reality, staying connected to our highest selves, staying in the moment. And this brings us to the end of today's practice, but not to the end of your or my experience. So, whatever you do for the rest of this morning, evening, whenever you're tuning in and watching, think about regulating your energy, keeping centered, connecting to what is true rather than being distracted by illusions, and see if there are maybe one extra way today that you could look after your body a little bit more kindly, maybe through your diet, through having a little rest, through going to bed earlier, or whatever, or talking to a dear friend you haven't spoken to wake up, to really have that heart connection. So thank you for tuning in. Many blessings. We'll see you at the next Movement Medicine Morsel. Bye for now.